Good morning, everybody at Academy55. Premium members get to watch this live. Everybody else will be seeing the recording later. Here we are on Friday, the 23rd of February. It's 5 to 8 in the morning, ready for another Academy55 live trading session with me, David Corn. First of all, as you can see, I've recognize these points of interest. We've got a big imbalance area here. These are support and resistance lines drawn up on higher time frames. The price respects. These are, again, are points of interest if we get near them or in a trade. First thing I'm going to be doing is any questions that you bring up will be answered. Not necessarily by myself, because obviously during the trading hour, I will not be looking at comments because I'm concentrating on the trades that we're in, but they will be answered at some stage of the day by either me or Steve, who monitor this. But obviously I'm busy doing this trading part, so I won't be actually commenting. If you have any live comments, this is, like I said before, this is actually being recorded, and other free members of Academy55 can watch the recording, but the premium members get to see this live. So what do we see at the moment? We're on the 1 minute time frame. Make sure you have your MT4 ready. Make sure you're on the 1 minute time frame and the EUR USD, and your trading assistant is showing 1% with a, make sure that's purple. The risk to reward is 2 to 1. Make sure all that good stuff is going, because if I get to take a trade, I need to make sure that is all working. But right now we can see price as of 7 o'clock this morning. Basically, we are officially in a uptrend. Sorry, my battery on my mouse is, oh dear, right. It's on the way out, I think, because it keeps going off and on intermittently, but that's okay. I'll sort that out afterwards. Obviously can't do that now, but yeah, price is above the purple line. So we are in an uptrend, possibly getting into this imbalance area that I saw on a higher time frame. Again, training for this is in the back office. So go and seek out the video, watch it twice. So we are waiting for an alert. We had a buy alert here at 4:27 this morning, but we have a point of interest here, and indeed price did respect this point of interest and it's going down again now. And so I am going to be waiting to get a fresh alert, because we've gone underneath the wave on the buy. So I'm quite happy just to wait and see what happens. After that. So in the meantime, I'll just happy to wait and see what happens, because we've seen some consolidation here. What we're concentrating on is the start of a volume boost one way or the other. We don't like accumulation, sideways movement, but that happens 80% of the time on all pairs. forex pairs, and most commodities, it happens at 80% of the time, where you get this sideways movement. And really, this strategy works, or most strategies work best with a movement out of consolidation. So we have to confirm that we're having a move out of consolidation. So really, I would like to see price get above this area here and enter into our imbalance area to give me a confirmation that indeed we would be getting to the area where we could get out of consolidation. So for me, price would have to go on the trend line. Make sure you got your 1%, 2% showing. But I need to see price getting above this area here to give me some sort of clear indication that yes, indeed, we are prepared. Price is prepared to go out of consolidation and climb higher. But as you can see, it's dancing around in the consolidation zone with no clear confirmation yet that we are actually going to be breaking out of this consolidation that we're seeing. So we just have to wait. That's what we do as traders. We are paid to wait. And at the moment, as you can see, we have the parallel SAR above price. So we couldn't get into the trade anyway. But if it does break the area there, the stop loss will be going on the trend, which is green. And then I've got another confirmation that we could be actually getting out of this consolidation area with price getting into that imbalance area that I pointed out, which is up here. Drew it up on trading view. So follow the anticipated stop loss on the trend line there. And I'm waiting for price to get above this area here. Hopefully we'll have a bit nice strong volume on a particular candle to do that, but we don't know. So I've got my finger ready on the buy. And parallel SAR has now dropped below price, which is good to see. And price is getting above that previous candle, setting a new high. So I have confirmations. Just this, we've got a down candle here. Price could still be a little bit tricky, so I want to be hitting it on a buy. Be impatient and wait, because we could get a volume down. You never know. Price will do what it's going to do and go into consolidation again. But I'm gonna go with that because we formed new highs here. And as you can see, as I'll show you, we are now heading into this area of FEG imbalance. So I'm very much hoping that price will want to equalize itself and get into this imbalance to mitigate we've got all sell action here. So we need some buy action, and price will hopefully equalize itself in this as of now, in this volume session, sorry, in this trading session. This needs to be filled at some stage. Now, not necessarily now, but for our purposes, yes, we hope it's now, because our take profit is in the way of all this. But theoretically, they could carry on dancing around here and fill that out at a later date. And indeed, we're getting a little bit of retrace. Our stop loss is down here. Hopefully that's low enough, because it was on the trend line. Parallels are flipped. So as you can see, the previous candle was in balance. Price came up to sort that out in balance, and now we could see see lots of right, okay. If we get wiped out, sorry, wiped out is very dramatic stage. Wiped out, we lose 1%. Don't mean to sound so dramatic as that, but if it comes down and takes us out, it is what it is. We lose 1%. But we're essentially looking for volume bursts between 8 and 9 and following them along. Price did form a new higher high, so I had a little bit more confirmation that we indeed could be getting out of this accumulation. But we are accumulating, but at the same time, we are still at the moment, we are still climbing, which is good for us, obviously, but we are still in a sideways sort of movement. See the candle before, a big, it's on the minute time frame, but it still represents indecision, a wick above and a wick below. So that as of a minute ago, they're still deciding what should we do with the price. But at the same time, we've got a nice buy alert here. Parallel SAR is underneath the price, pushing price up. A green volume ribbon, a green trend line. But at the same time, we are still in a bit of a sideways sort of situation. But we're in the trade. I took the trade there because of seeing it heading into this imbalance area here that was created. And I can show you that very quickly, might as well, because there's nothing I can do now, because we've got a big imbalance area here. Hang on, let's get rid of this the Academy55 indicator. This is all a imbalance area, what's known as FVG, fair value gap imbalance. It's the same thing. This is a heavy sell. Price likes to see, needs to see equal itself out. So that needs to be filled at some stage. We just don't know when. I mean, effectively, it could get in there and say, you know what, we don't want to do that yet. We'll just carry on here for some time, and we might even want to go down yet. But we don't know that as traders. Our indicator is telling us that hopefully it will, the volume will decide to equal that out. But as you can see on this hourly candle, we've got big indecision here. It's indecisive. I'll get that off there. Because we got a wick above and a wick below, so we are indeed indecisive on that. Let's see where we're at. Oh, right, okay. Well, unfortunately, I lost my 1% because it baked it. My anticipation was wrong. We did create a higher high, and I did everything to the book. But like you say, unfortunately, price did get a little bit lower below our trend line there. So effectively, it did take us out. So I'm now going to be waiting patiently for a fresh alert, whatever way it is, because I'm not going to enter into this dance again, because I anticipated a bit too early, perhaps. And we have indeed gone into consolidation. Sideways movement again. So I'm not going to be faked out a second time. I'm going to wait for a fresh alert, whenever that may be. Hopefully it'll happen between my 8 and 9. And if it doesn't, I walk away. If it doesn't happen within the next hour, I walk away and come back again. For me, I haven't looked at the news for next week yet, but for me, it'll be next Tuesday. But if we get a fresh alert between 8 and 9, indeed, I will be doing that. Let's put it back on the minute. Yeah, see, it's dancing around that point of interest line I drew up for myself earlier on. I was anticipating a break there. It started to nudge into this imbalance, but unfortunately, I was a bit too keen. Well, as per the indicators, told me everything was okay, giving me confirmations. But it appears I was a bit too early, and we've indeed found more sideways movement, which happens 75 to 80% of the time of the day anyway. Volume might come into the market sometime within this hour. And if it does, I'll be ready with the indicator and with a fresh alert and reanalyze. But if it carries on up without the alert, well, it'll just have to carry on up without me. Unfortunately, my stop loss was too close, and as you can see, we just got taken out. But I've seen it before. It very well might go and fill out that imbalance now, but unfortunately, it will be without me because I've lost my 1%. But I just can't risk it because I thought I anticipated a move into this imbalance area, but no, it decided to accumulate a bit more. Still might do that and go up here again, but I can't, because the alert is way down here a good half an hour ago. So I'm not going to enter into this this stage at the moment because I can see too much accumulation. And if it carries on the buy, so be it. I can wait. I don't need to get in. This is not the last trade I'm ever going to take. I remember when I was just starting out in trading, you tend to think, whatever trade, this could be the last trade. We might as well act on it because it could be the last trade. There's going to be plenty of other opportunities. Trust me. So I'm prepared to wait. If it goes up, it'll be going up without me because I can't be sure of how long it's going to go up until it starts accumulating again. And I've already been bitten once. Like I say, once bitten, twice shy. But it looks like, indeed, price could enter up to here. But at the end of the day, as we all know, as I always keep saying, price is going to do what it's going to do at the end of the day. And what we're seeing is accumulation. the buy alert is far too way away for me to do anything now, and I've already been bitten once. So I'm not going to be going into that again. And I'll wait for a fresh alert. There's quite a few of you on the live watching us live. Thank you very much for that. Hope you're enjoying your Academy 55 experience. For everybody else, this will be recorded and be sent up as a recording at a later time. All the members will be able to see it in the back office of Academy 55, and it will also be on our YouTube channel later on today when I have uploaded it. But this is being recorded, but the premium members get to watch this live for educational purposes only. We don't give financial advice. So yeah, even more accumulation. Statistically, between 8 and 9, I've made this my favorite time to trade, my personal favorite time to trade, because of my personal circumstances. I love to trade for me, which is early in the morning, just before I go about my business for the rest of the day doing other things. And also, between 8 and 9, statistically, this is a better time to trade during the day, because statistically there are more volume bursts for a buy or a sell within this time period on the EUR USD. So them two things in conjunction, that's why I like this time. But like I say, as with all other strategies, we have to really get over the accumulation factor, which is what we have had here. I anticipated too early by seeing this new higher high, but it went back into more accumulation. So now just waiting for a fresh alert, fresh set of circumstances, and this is where we are. So I'm just going to go on silent a minute until such time something really happens, and obviously I'll come back on again. So keep your speakers on. Okay, so we might be setting ourselves for a possible sell. The red wave as right. Okay, things are happening really quickly because we are on the 1 minute time frame. So we have to act accordingly or reverse that situation. Waiting for the trend line to go green. The red wave started there. Parallel SR is above price. Waiting for, but we've got a point of interest here. This purple line, which is about not a worry, but a thing to recognize. But we've got a parallel SR above price. The wave has started to turn red, so that's where the stop loss is going to be. But as you notice, we haven't got an alert as yet, but I'm anticipating maybe one, if it carries on down, obviously, we will get ourselves a sell alert sometime. But all the other, and also the trend line is green, but we're here in wait, ready for these things to happen if we see a volume burst for a sell. So we will be setting this up. And again, waiting for things to happen. So I want to get this out of the way a bit. So get that over there. By what you do is you hold your mouse over there, left click. Right, we've got a sell alert, and we are indeed going to be going for a sell now. For some reason, my stop loss went a bit lower than it should do. Stop loss should be up there by a pip. And this will be a point of interest, this purple line now, because we know we'll either bounce or break, and also the sell alert has gone, I noticed. So we could be faked out again. I'm going to raise my stop loss to where it should be, up there at the start of the wave. I don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, it went out down there. But by doing that, that might save me from getting out of. And I appreciate that it's a bit more than 1%. But it was a technical error on my part, which does happen. But I'd rather be safe with a stop loss where I think it should be at the start of the wave there. And that might make all the difference, may make all the difference. It might make no difference at all, but it could make all the difference between staying in the trade and not. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But at the same time, the sell alert has disappeared, which is not helpful. What's it done on TradingView? Let's have a look. Oh, it's disappeared on TradingView as well. But we're already in the trade. So even though the sell alert has disappeared, and we might, hopefully we will be rewarded with that, with the sell alert reappearing. There it is, just on cue. So it was on the borderline of being there and not being there. It's disappeared again, as you can see. Yeah, because we are effectively, all this is accumulation. This whole area here. So it's but we're in the trade. Well, I'm in the trade. All I can do really is accuse myself of being a little bit too quick anticipating, because again, once these prices go, as you can appreciate, they go. Like, you know, you can't be tardy on this. Once you see a buy, usually, not usually, but when they do go, sometimes they do go, especially in this hour where we see and can be seen a lot of volume. But push up there. And indeed, we got the sell alert back again. So hopefully we will, well, yeah, hopefully we'll reach my take profit. And because I noticed because I altered the stop loss a bit higher, I'm now at a 1.32% loss if it hits the stop loss. And that also decreased my take profit to 1.93. These are small semantics, but they do count. But that was because of I was a bit too quick. My stop loss was down here and it was a bit lower than I'd like. So that's why I raised it to where the wave started to turn red. And by doing so, I actually increased my percentage by 32.32%. And that is a mistake on my part by being too quick on the draw, really. But I know these things can happen really, really quick. So my anticipation was too sharp. Not being patient. It's a very fine line between being too quick and not quick enough. It's an art you gain with experience. And even then, as you've seen, I fell short of that a little bit. So now we are hoping for our take profit situation. And if it does hit our take profit, I will count that as a 2% because it's near enough. It's 0.07% away. And if I was to put 1.93% in the journal, just causes confusion. What would happen if I lowered that to 1%? I think what I'll do is I'll make that right. That's my 1% there. It's tricky, it's just a bit above. So I'll lower this to 2%, which is, as you can see, it's not a very big movement at all. It won't go exactly. Yeah, 1.98%. It's hardly anything to sort of worry about. I'll raise that to where the stop loss should have been at the start of where the wave started to turn red. Now see the purple line the EMA 462. Basically, EMA stands for exponential moving average. And basically, it's the moving average of 462 of these 1 minute candles. That's basically what it is. And 462 is a number drawn out of a thing called Fibonacci. There's no way I'm going to get into all that. And I suggest if you are interested in that, you look up that externally. This is Academy55 is designed to be a process where new people don't need to get into all that. All they need to do within time is trust the indicators: green, green, green buy, red, red, red sell. But I know there are people within our Academy55 membership who are interested in such things and like to look at things a bit deeper, perhaps. So I just explained really for that. So now, for me, watching now, what I'm seeing is it's bouncing off this 462 line, and indeed we might continue on for a bigger sell. We don't know. So we're over halfway into our trading session. And we have a nice sell alert now. If you were here earlier on, it painted and went again. We call this painting and repainting when they appear and disappear. So we are in the trade. Well, that's a nice big volume burst. Hopefully that will continue and break that EMA, but it's bouncing along. So hasn't got quite enough volume to go down to our take profit for our purposes, but is what it is. So, as I always encourage you, there is little point in you, if you're in the trade like I am, there's little point in anguishing yourself by looking at retracement. Price may be going up here, turning around, it might hit take profit, it might hit stop loss. Whatever it does is out of your control. All it can do is make you bite your fingernails, pull your hair out. No point in it. There's no point. So, all right, we notice just here, there was a break, and that is because it happened so fast that this broker didn't actually pick up the data. So, because we're on the minute time frame, if we went up a time frame or two, you wouldn't notice that little gap. But because we're on the minute time frame, sometimes you notice such anomalies. It just means the data, it pushed up so fast and the data was so quick that it was so quick for the broker didn't actually pick up. It was too quick to pick up all the data. That's why there was a little gap there. But if you was watching this afterward, after the event, you wouldn't have even noticed that was a gap. And in reality, it was like 2 or 3 tenths of a pip. just want to explain that. While we're waiting, hopefully, for a take profit. Other terminology is this area here is in balance, or also known as an FVG. And you might hear the term POI, just means point of interest. Support and resistance lines. And now actually we're at a support and resistance line here, where we either bounce along that or break and go up again. But for our purposes, hopefully we are going to go down to these areas down here where we have our take profit. So 1.08230 is the next one. Think of these as these support and resistance lines as hurdles. If you're horse racing, sometimes horses refuse to take the hurdle. Sometimes they run alongside the hurdle, and sometimes most times they jump over the hurdle to go on to the next one. So think of these support and resistance lines as hurdles where things do happen. And as you can see, things have happened on this support and resistance line here. The next one is down at 1.08229. So I'm going to go back to my 1.08229, which is good because that is the next hurdle is down here. 229 is down there, and as you can see, our take profit is in the way of that. So if we get this with this hurdle here, if we get down as far as there, we don't need to worry whether it bounces or breaks because our take profit is in the way. And to get that line on MT4, if you haven't got the line tool, all you need to do is go to view. My mouse is stuck again. There we go. Go to view, toolbars, and tick that, and you'll see it appear up there, line studies. I can take it away by clicking it and bring it back again. Go into tools, line studies, and it's back there again. So what you do is you press that one where it says draw a horizontal line. You can change the colors of this, and you change those by holding your mouse over it, and then you right click, and then you go into properties, and you can change the colors. Won't do that now for obvious reasons. And to get rid of the line, you left click, double click. A little tiny, you might not be able to see that, but a little tiny yellow box. So that now can be moved, activated, or indeed right click and delete. But what we're seeing now is we are seeing price reacting along this purple line, the EMA 462. I don't know what's going on there. Hang on. Oh, right. So we're seeing, again, we are seeing accumulation along this 462 line. That could be volume gaining strength to break, or it could be volume gaining strength to continue its buy. But we're in the trade regardless. And if we win on the day, we won 1%. But if it comes and hits our stop loss, we have had another 2% loss today. And that just goes to the bigger picture goes to show that the markets may be nervy for some reason. I notice at we just go here and I go onto my FX book and draw your attention to the fact at what day are we on? Oh, I've gone too far again. Friday, we had news at midnight last night and we are going to be at 9 o'clock high impact news for the EUR. So I recommend at wherever we are at 8:58, we either put stop loss to entry or we take out the trade if we are in that situation at that time because of high impact news. And incidentally, that's at 9 o'clock. But if you went to my Forex factory, there is actually no mention of it. And indeed, at 9 o'clock, they got it as orange flag news, which is not as heavy as red flag news. So that's why it really pays to look at both my Forex factory and my FX book. And both of those are in the back office for you to see. Meanwhile, where are we at the moment? We are. So we'll keep an eye on that. As we're live, it's 8:43 at the moment. So if we are still in the trade close to that time, we will make a decision on what to do when we get close to the time. Hopefully, we'll have a big volume burst to the downside. And we can all go and celebrate with a cup of tea. But we're seeing accumulation again. Surprise, surprise. And indeed, if it is high impact news, why would, and you don't really know what the news, whether the news is going to be good or bad for the EUR, you wouldn't want to be investing a lot of money one way or the other if you knew that like 20 minutes time or 10 minutes time in this case, no, 15 minutes time, there's going to be news to either reinforce your idea that it's going to be bad news or reinforce your idea. If you're not certain, you're not going to be investing millions of pounds because for the candle to move 1 pip takes, it's a well-known fact, it takes between 10 and 12 million dollars of investment just to move around the globe, just to move 1 pip one way or the other. So if you know there's going to be news at 9 o'clock, you wouldn't want to be seeing great swathes of news. And that could be the reason, I'm saying could be, this is just my opinion, this could be the reason why we're seeing price hugging, not wishing to go too far away from this 462 line, the EMA, the purple line. But, you know, it's my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. So hopefully we'll have enough, because I just noticed something as well. Because down here, I think I'm right in saying that little area here, see if I can go on trading views, it's a lot simpler to explain. Right, let's go and scrunch it up a bit. Get this, where's that tool I like? That one there. This little area here could be in, well, it is in balance. It mitigated a bit there, but there's still a little smidge there. And for our purposes, hopefully, price wants to come down to equalize that little bit of imbalance there. And the data hopefully is spot on, because if it is, that is definitely in balance. So hopefully price will want to come down there to equalize that during our trade. And if it does, we will be okay. But right now we're having a big burst down towards our take profit. We're at 13 minutes to 9. So we've got plenty of time before the news. Hopefully we will be hitting our take profit before the news. And indeed we did. So thank you very much for your time today. I do appreciate it. We walked away with a 1% profit before the news hits at 9 o'clock. Please do not, if you was following me and took a trade, this is for educational purposes only, but I appreciate some do take trades following me. Please do not trade for the rest of the day. You've traded twice as per the rules, and I'll see you all again next week. Thanks very much for your attendance today, and the recording will be up very, very soon. So thanks very much. Have a nice weekend. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.